Bill Henshaw again, a friendly local constitutional kook out here in California, and with some of the biggest news you're ever. I have evidence, although not direct evidence. This is literally the eeriest example of black and white in this system I've ever seen. That I have the biggest win in the history of the United States Supreme Court. This is my Iowa criminal case. I was out there, as some of you may know, for almost 8 months last year. And among other things, what we did, by the way, there, take care of business and set the record from the trial court all the way to Des Moines. Unopposed record. You bastards don't have jurisdiction. No opposition. And that's one of the things I can help you do in your case, whether it's criminal, traffic, mortgage, bankers, evictions, you name it. It's all the same issues here. And what's happened is this case in Iowa has gotten back on the docket in the Iowa Court of Appeals, but the appeal was dismissed 9 months ago. Specious, frivolous, and without merit. Sovereign citizen BS. This is what they do to you. Now, there's no reason for that to be back on the active docket unless the Supreme Court of the United States ordered them to do it. And I sent paperwork. You'll learn more about that. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And I did a couple of things. I sent what I called the full money version. And then I had a backup, the RDCV, which for parts like me is Reader Digest condensed version. And I said to the justices of the court, I know right now you can't do the full thing, although you have the sworn duty to do it. And we all know, the 10 of us, the 9 justices and I, that this court has been complicit for at least the last 90 years in all of the trouble we have. And I'm the league leader in being happy for what they're doing in the last 4 years. They're going in the right direction, not as fast as I would like. That could very well change the next term, 2024 to 2025. But I said, fine, use the RDCV, ineffective assistance of counsel, confrontation and cross-examination, simple issues. You won't wake the American people up to the full truth right now. I get it. It's not quote unquote convenient, but we'll take that for right now. So all of a sudden, this case goes back on the Iowa Court of Appeals docket with appointed counsel, no less. Total waste of time. There's nothing for them to do. So evidently they didn't get the full message in Des Moines. I've already communicated to the Supreme Court what I just said. Tell them what to do here. Get my friend out of jail, send him home, tell him in Des Moines to take care of business. You don't want this case back here. Put in other words, get your checkbooks out and take care of business. And I think that's what's going to happen there. And I have paperwork that proves it. Not in the regular way. There's nothing in the Supreme Court. This is black as white. It will look like it never happened. And to the justices of the court, I'm fine with that for right now. But all of us know you have much more important work to do here, especially when the next term comes up. And Trump gets in there and we get 2 younger Republicans in there, who can let Thomas and Alito retire. Now we're going to be there for 15 years. And we can really take care of business. But that's how good this is. At my age, a baby boomer of 75, life is still ahead of me. Damn, that's good. And I can teach you how to, in effect, do the same thing while helping yourselves, your children, and your posterity, exactly like what the racist framers of the Constitution wanted to do when they ordained and established it to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Not the goddamn New York bankers. But we have a real window of opportunity, unprecedented here. And that's what I want to help you to do. Let's get better, set an unopposed record in the trial court, quote unquote, if that's all we can do. But you'll find out I'm also working on being able to remove your case, to a Article 3 Federal Circuit Court. That's a judicial court to which we have the right from day one. And you ain't never going to be in one otherwise if you don't get that done. But the good news is, if that's all they have, and it is, every law on the books is null and void, non pro tunc ab initio, as a bill of attainder. Taking of life, liberty, or property without judicial process. That's how good the framers did in setting up the federative government, Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, which, as you're well aware, have degenerated in today's democracy, aka three bulls and two sheep voting on what's for dinner. That was never the intent. And it's even worse since, as you'll learn, from getting my material, send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com. We haven't had a lawful election in 160 years. And I can prove it a cappella off the top of my head. That's how good this stuff is. It'd be even better if I would have learned 60 years ago when I was in school right outside of Washington, D.C. They didn't teach any of this stuff then, and they ain't teaching you now either. So I'm working to fix that too. I'll tell you on a new video what I'm planning to do there. But this is so good, what's going on here, that we can take care of the abortion issue and also get the states out of the mix as well. They don't belong there either. Now, personally, by the way, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not thrilled with the concept of abortion, but it's none of my damn business. That's for you to do. And if there's a day of reckoning, it's going to come, a long time from now when you get into an ecclesiastical court of conscience. When you get where you're going to, you'll have to deal with it there. But my instincts tell me that's not going to be a problem either. And in fact, just a suggestion to you congressmen out there, I think there's no limit on your power at all in Washington, D.C. Truth in advertising would seem to dictate that you could pass a law making giving childbirth felony child abuse. And that's exactly what it is today. God, if I was in this generation or Gen X or the millennials, my goodness, it's so bad from what it was even when I grew up. We had a reasonable shot at things back in the day, but today you don't. And that creates a lot of anxiety, frustration, anger, which in turn creates what? Drug abuse. Not all of it, to be sure, but if we had the system back where it's supposed to have, I'm willing to bet you drug abuse would drop on the magnitude of 75%. And it should. If you have a good life and you can get where you're going to and make the most of your talent and abilities, you don't need to resort to drugs of any kind. It all comes together. That's how good this is. So that said, remember to send me an email, youwinningcourt@gmail.com, for information about my constitutional defense document packets. Remember to subscribe, like the videos, get the word out. The sooner we take action, the sooner we make things better across the board, and for you, yourselves, and your posterity. Thank you.